Hello students. We have already completed your chapter number 5. Yes. So now we will be going to discuss the question and answer that is given in your book. Okay. So after this discussion is completed, you have to watch this video thoroughly. Okay. And then you have to write the questions answer in your own words. Okay. And then you have to submit the answer to me. Okay. And I have already said that those who will not submit their homework, okay, their name will be noted down and some action will be taken against them. Okay, so this is what you have to be careful about, that you all have to submit the homework. Okay, and you need not worry of your question or answer becoming wrong, because I will be sending you the correct answers also. Okay, after all of you will submit your homework, I will be sending you the correct answers. Okay, so now first look at the multiple choice question. So the first question is that the Latin word acidus means. So what the Latin word acidus means? So it is given in your book already. So it is sour. Okay, so the correct answer is answer D. And why I am saying this is the correct answer, because it is already given in your book. So in your book, in this paragraph, okay, in this paragraph here it is written. So the word acidus means sour. Okay, so from this you can know that the correct answer of this question is question A. Okay, so the correct answer of question A is sour. Okay, so now question number 2, the substances that change their color on coming in contact with other substance, what it is called? The substances which change their color on coming in contact with other substances. Yes, I think you all have guessed it correctly. Yes, that is indicators. Okay, next, the sharp pain caused by sting of brown ants, nettles and bees. Okay, that means why a sharp pain is caused when any ant or bees, when they bite us, that is after their sting. So we all know that it is due to an acid. Okay, and the sting of ant and bees, they contain which acid? It is formic acid. Yes, so it is formic acid. So the answer is D. Okay, now a substance which dissolves in water to give hydrogen ion as the only positively charged ion. So I think this you don't have in your book, that is any acid. Okay, so any acid, suppose we take HCl. Okay, so when it is dissolved in water, so what we get? When it is dissolved in water, we will get H plus and Cl minus ions. Okay, so when it is dissolved in water, okay, we will get H, suppose HCl. What is HCl? Hydrochloric acid. Okay, so hydrochloric acid, when it is dissolved in water, it will give hydrogen plus ion and chlorine minus ion. Okay, so this is the question that is asked, that is the substance which is dissolved in water to give hydrogen ions as the only positively charged ion is called an acid. Okay, so the correct answer is C. Okay, this I think you don't have in your book, so remember it, that when acid is dissolved in water, we get hydrogen ion which is positively charged, that is we get hydrogen plus. Okay, so this ion we get. Okay, so what is ion, so how it is formed, so that we will be looking in our next higher classes. Okay, so for now you just remember that when acid is dissolved in water, we get hydrogen plus ions or positively charged hydrogen ion. Okay, so now question number 5, the substances which reacts with acid to form salt and water as the only product are known as. So this is a question about neutralization. Okay, so what happens in neutralization? An acid reacts with base to form salt and water. Okay, so the answer is substance which react with acid to form salt and water. The which substance reacts with acid to form salt and water? Yes, that is, we all know it is bases. Okay, next, all oxides and hydroxides of metal are. Okay, so I think this is a question that the answer of this question is not present in your book. Okay, and I think most of you will be unaware of this. Okay, so I am giving you the answer. You can note it down. Okay, so I am sharing you the answers. Okay, so this one. Okay, all metal oxides or metal hydroxides are basic in nature, or we can call them bases. Okay, so all yes, so metal oxides or all metal oxides or metal hydroxides are basic in nature, or we can call them as base. Okay, so this is a point you have to remember because it is not there in your book, and this you will know, or you will be aware of this fact while you will be studying in class 10. Okay, so for now time being you have to remember this point. Okay, so it is an important point, this particular point. So yes, so all metal oxides or metal hydroxides are basic in nature or are called as bases. Okay, now what are the examples of metal oxide and metal hydroxide? So generally what are metals? Like metals are calcium, sodium, potassium, iron, copper, all these are metals, aluminum, all these are metals. Okay, so most of the metal oxides, they are bases. Okay, so I have given you some of the common example, that is calcium oxide. So chemical symbol of calcium is Ca and of oxygen is O. Okay, so CaO is the formula of calcium oxide. MgO, it is the formula of magnesium oxide. Fe2O3, it is the formula of ferric oxide. CuO, it is the formula of copper oxide, etc. Okay, and like this there are many metal oxides. So I have given you example of 4 metal oxide. So similarly metal hydroxides are also bases. Okay, so in your book when we discussed about bases, we already learned about some examples. Okay, and this example on in this example all we have learned was about metal hydroxide. We have already learned about sodium hydroxide. What sodium hydroxide is? Sodium hydroxide is a base. Potassium hydroxide, it is also a base. Calcium hydroxide, it is also a base. And magnesium hydroxide, it is also a base. So okay, so I think you already know about metal hydroxide. Okay, so about this we have already learned while we discuss about the examples of bases. Okay, now the new thing that we are knowing is that metal oxides are also basic in nature or are bases. Okay, so similarly one more thing you have to remember, that all non-metallic oxides. Okay, so all non-metallic oxides are also acidic in nature. So now there will be a confusion that what is metal and what is non-metal. Okay, so what is metal and what is non-metal, that you will be knowing in class 8. Okay, in class 8 we have a chapter called metals and non-metals. Okay, so now you need not worry, but generally you all know what are metals, what are non-metals, what are examples of metals, what are examples of non-metal. Okay, so non-metals are like carbon, nitrogen, sulfur, all these are like non-metals. Okay, so the gases around us, these all are non-metal, like oxygen, hydrogen, these are non-metals. Okay, so for now, for this class 7 chapter number 5, you only need to know that all metallic oxides are bases and all non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature or are acid. And examples of non-metallic oxides are sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. Okay, so you can remember this example if such kind of questions appear in your exam, or you can simply remember that all non-metallic oxides are acidic and all metallic oxides are basic in nature. Okay, so this was an important fact that was not given in your book. So all oxides and hydroxides of metal are, so what we have learned, that all metallic oxides are basic in nature. So all oxides and hydroxides of metal are bases. Okay, clear? So I think you should not have any confusion in this. Okay, so next we'll be looking at the other questions. Okay, yes. So next question number 7. So hydrochloric acid is produced in the stomach and is very important for. So how hydrochloric acid is produced in stomach? It is produced from the stomach walls, and hydrochloric acid is present on the gastric juices. Okay, so that I have discussed in the video, last video I think. Yes. So hydrochloric acid that is produced in the stomach is important for number 1, digestion of food, and hydrochloric acid which is produced in our stomach is also responsible for the acidity in our stomach. Okay, so the answer of this question is it is C. Okay, so both A and B are correct. Okay, next, antacids are made up of magnesium hydroxide and aluminum hydroxide. Okay, and are used for, that we all know, that is number A, relieving acidity in the stomach. Okay, so 7 and 8 we have already learned in our last video. Now this one, weak bases are sparingly soluble in water, insoluble in water, both A and B, none of the above. So we know that some bases which are generally strong, that I have discussed earlier also in our last video, are strong bases are generally soluble in water. Okay, but the weak bases are generally insoluble in water. Okay, so the answer is B. Okay, and the answer of 10 is strong bases are generally completely soluble in water. Clear? So here the MCQ part, multiple choice question, it is over. So next we will be looking at fill in the blanks. Okay, so the acid which is found in lemon is, so that I have already discussed in your class. Yes, so I think you all will know the answer. That is, the acid found in lemon is citric acid. Okay, so it is citric acid. So next, the bases have a, what we all know, what are bases? The substances which have bitter taste and are slippery in touch is known as bases. Okay, so in place of slippery we can also call it soapy, because generally soaps are generally very slippery when we touch it. Okay, so for number 2, the bases have a, what bases have? Bases have a bitter taste and are soapy. Okay, the question number 3, the sting of what contains formic acid? So we all know sting of ants. Okay, ants contain formic acid. Now sulfuric acid, what is sulfuric acid? Sulfuric acid is mineral acid, and we all know that most of the mineral acid are very strong acid. Okay, and what we know, that strong acids are highly corrosive. So sulfuric acid is a strong acid, so the answer will be sulfuric acid is a highly sulfuric acid is strong acid, so it will be highly corrosive. So sulfuric acid is a highly corrosive acid. Okay, again acid soils are neutralized with slaked lime. Okay, we have discussed in our last video. Now question number 3. So in this question what it is given? So all 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, so all these statements are incorrect. Okay, these statements are wrong. Okay, and we have to correct them. Okay, we will be writing the correct statement. So what is given? Sulfuric acid is an example of organic acid, but we know that sulfuric acid is a mineral acid, so the answer will be sulfuric acid is an example of mineral acid. Clear? So next, blue litmus paper. So what blue litmus paper does? It is given here that blue litmus paper turns red in a basic solution. Okay, but generally what happens? This is completely wrong, because blue litmus paper turns red in a acidic solution, in an acidic solution. So the correct answer will be blue litmus paper turns red in a acidic solution. Okay, so you have to replace the basic part by writing in an acidic solution. Okay, now number 3, cyanurose solution turns green in citric acid solution, but we have seen that cyanurose solution are generally light pink in color, and they turn deep pink in color when it is put in acidic solution, and they turn in green color when it is put in basic solution. And here we are what it is given, that when cyanurose is given in citric acid solution it turns green. So generally what this is a wrong statement, because it should turn deep pink. Okay, so the answer will be, you have to replace green with deep pink, because cyanide solution, it turns deep pink in an acid solution, and citric acid is an acid, so the cyanide solution will turn deep pink. Okay, so formic acid is found in a sting of grasshopper. This is completely wrong. Okay, because grasshopper do not have sting, does not have sting. Okay, so what will be the correct answer? The formic acid is found in the sting of an ant. Okay, this will be sting of a ant or an ant. It will be an ant. Okay, not a ant. So you should be grammatically correct. Okay. So during neutralization, an acid reacts with a salt to form water and base. Okay. So what is neutralization? The neutralization is the process in which an acid reacts with a base to form salt and water. Okay. So you have to replace salt. You have to replace salt with base, and you have to replace base with salt. So then the statement will be correct, that during neutralization, an acid reacts with a base to form salt and water. Okay, so I think you should not have any problem in this question number 3. Now we'll be going to question number 4. Okay, so we have to write true and false. So the tooth decay is caused by presence of basic substance in the mouth. So this is the first. This one is completely false. Okay, so tooth decay is caused by presence of acidic substance in the mouth. Okay, the substance which show different colors in acids and bases are called indicators. So this we all know. This is true. Okay, so next you have to write fully. Okay, you have to write false and true in words. Okay, milk of magnesia and slaked lime are example of neutral substances. This is also completely false. Okay, because milk and magnesia and slaked lime are bases. Acid rain is caused by excess of carbon dioxide in air. This is also false. Okay, because acid rain is caused by nitrogen oxide or sulfur dioxide. Okay, so oxides of nitrogen or oxides of sulfur causes acid rain. Okay, potassium hydroxide turn blue litmus red. So this is again false, because potassium hydroxide is a base, and we all know that what happens in base? In base, red litmus turns blue, but blue litmus will not turn red in a basic solution. So this is completely again false. Okay, now the last, most of the fruits contains organic acid. Okay, so this is true. We all know that citric fruit contains citric acid, again like tamarind and raw mango, these all contains acids like tartaric acids. Okay, so they contains organic acids. Now question number 5, match the statement in column A with those in column B. Okay, so very simple, we have to match. A substance which turns turmeric solution reddish brownish, that is turmeric solution turns reddish brown in presence of a base. Okay, a reaction between an acid and a base is called, this is C, neutralization. Okay, C. An acid present in vinegar is, we all know, it is acidic acid. Okay, an indicator derived from lichen is, what it is, litmus. Okay, an insect whose sting contains formic acid is ant. Okay, so this is very clear. So now we'll be proceeding to writing the answers of the question. So name 3 organic acids and name 3 inorganic acids. So that we are already discussed in the classes, and it is also in your book. There in your book. So you can write the name of 3 organic acid and 3 inorganic acid from your book, or what we have discussed in the class. So what are indicators? So indicators are the substances which changes their color when they come in contact with acids or base. Name any 3 indicator and the state the color change which takes place. Okay, so 3 indicators you can all write. We have learned about 4 indicators. Yes, that is turmeric, litmus, China rose solution, and again phenolphthalein. Okay, so you can write any of the 3, and you have to mention their color sense when it is in presence of acid and base. For each of them you have to write. Okay, so you have written the name of 3 indicators and what is their change in color when they are present in acid and when they are present in base. For each of the 3 indicators you have to write this. Okay, so this you can do of your own. Okay, what are neutral substances? We all know what are neutral substances. The substances which are neither acidic nor basic. Okay, so the substances which are not acid and also not base are known as neutral substances. Give examples of 2 neutral substances. Okay, so one of the neutral substance we already know. So what is a neutral substances? One we have already discussed about. What? Distilled water. Yes, one we already discussed about distilled water. So examples of distilled substances, one is neutral. One examples of neutral substances, one is distilled water. The another is very common example, that is salt. Okay, so the salt we use in kitchen, because what happens, salt are the product. Okay, so when salt is produced when an acid reacts with base. Okay, so that is a product of neutralization reaction. Okay, so that means the salt are neither acidic nor basic, so salts are neutral. Okay, question number 4. You are given 3 unlabeled bottles A, B and C containing colorless solution such that one of them is acid, the other is base and the third is neutral. So how will you distinguish between them? By using China-Rose indicator. How will you distinguish? Because China-Rose will turn deep pink when comes in contact with the acid. It will be turning green when it comes in contact with the base, and it will remain light pink solution, light pink colored solution when it comes in contact with the neutral substances. By this you can know which is acid, which is base and which is neutral. What do you understand by the term neutralization? We all know what is neutralization. You can write, describe an activity in which neutralization of hydrochloric acid takes place with sodium hydroxide using phenolphthalein as an indicator. Okay, so this is there in your activity 5.5. okay, so from activity 5.5 you can write. Okay, so that when sodium hydroxide, a solution of sodium hydroxide is mixed with phenolphthalein indicator, then we have a pink colored solution. Okay, so when we will be adding hydrochloric acid with a dropper, drop by drop, we will see that after adding few drops of hydrochloric acid solution, we will see that whole of the solution turns colorless. That means the neutralization reaction takes place between hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide, where phenolphthalein is used as an indicator. So this is given in your activity 5.5. okay, explain why farmers add slaked lime to acidic solution. Why farmers add slaked lime to acidic solution? Acidic soils, because slaked lime is a base. Okay, so what base does? So slaked lime is a base and it will neutralize the excess acid present in the soil. Okay, so that the soil will turn neutral and we can grow crop in that, farmers can grow crop in that soil. Okay, soap solution or baking soda paste is applied on the part of a body stung by a bee. This is because the sting of bee, it contains formic acid. Okay, and soap or baking soda, these are bases. Okay, so when bees bases will be applied on the part of the body where bee stings, so it will neutralize the formic acid. Okay, and our pain will be relieved. Okay, factory waste and city sewerage is neutralized before discharging in rivers. This is because this waste generally contains, what they contains, they generally contains a large amount of acids. Okay, and if they are allowed to discharge in rivers, so then they will kill the living organisms like fishes in those rivers, and it will also pollute the river water. Okay, so that these are first neutralized using bases like lime. Okay, antacids are used for relieving acidity in the stomach, because what is acidity? During acidity, excess amount of hydrochloric acid is produced in the stomach. Okay, and antacids contains magnesium hydroxides and aluminum hydroxide. Okay, and these are bases. Okay, and they will neutralize the excess amount of hydrochloric acid that is produced, and it will relieve us from acidity. Okay, give 4 differences between the acids and alkalis. So alkalis means bases. Okay, so what are the differences that we have already learned? So we can write the differences from their properties. Okay, so if you study the properties of acids and bases, so you will get the differences between them. Write an equation for the reaction in which hydrochloric acid neutralizes sodium hydroxide. So I have already given this equation in the last video where we discussed neutralization. Okay, so this means this we have to write the equation for neutralization reaction that I have already given in my video. Okay, video last or second last video that we have discussed. Okay, so you can look on the video, and I have already written it down there. Okay, so you can directly write or write from there. Okay, so look at the video one more time and you will get the answer there. Clear? So I also want to tell you that or remind you that you have to look on the watch the video one more time. Okay, so every question they have their answer on those videos. If you understand those videos clearly, you will get the answers. Okay, so these are some value based questions. So Pritam had an agricultural plot. He used to grow vegetables in it. After harvesting, he plowed the plot, never removed the roots of previous crop. In few years, his land became infertile. When Saurav learned his problem, he advised him to spray lime powder in a plot to make the soil fertile. Now the plot becomes fertile, and Pritam thanks Saurav for his good advice. So what are the failures displayed by Saurav? So the failures is Saurav is number one, he is very helpful, and second is that he has a very good knowledge of acid and bases and also about neutralization. Okay. So why did agricultural plot become infertile? Because since the roots of previous crops was not removed from the plot while plowing, so these roots decayed. Okay, and that these decaying roots makes the agricultural plot highly acidic. How does lime help in restoring fertility? Because due to the decaying roots, the soil became highly acidic. Okay, due to which the soil fertility of the soil decreased. So lime, since it is a base, it neutralize the excess acid in the soil of the agricultural plot now, so that the soil becomes neutral. Okay, so these are the answers. Now Rajesh is a milk vendor. He used to collect milk from the villages and sell it in cities. In summer, he noticed his milk used to get sour. This caused him heavy loss. Rakesh learned it. Then he advised him to add small amount of baking soda in the milk to prevent it from getting sour. Rajesh became happy and thanked Rakesh for his good advice. So what is this? What are the values shown by Rakesh? So you can write the same answer, that is Rakesh is helpful towards Rajesh, and also he has a very good knowledge of neutralization reaction and acid and bases. Okay, why did milk get sour during summer? Because we all know that due to a bacteria in the milk, lactic acid is produced in the milk. Okay, and lactic acid makes the milk sour during summer. How did baking soda prevent milk from getting sour? Because when small amount of baking soda is added to the milk, since baking soda is a base, it neutralizes the amount of lactic acid that is from in the milk, so that the milk remains neutral in summer. Okay, and since the milk remains neutral in summer, while when we add baking soda, so the milk will not become sour. Clear? So these were the answers. I think I have already given you the answers. Okay, so just you have to write down these answers and show me. Okay, so even if you have some problems or if most of your answers are wrong, then I will be sharing the correct answers. Okay, and also remember that I will be also giving you some other questions apart from those present in your book. Okay, as an assignment. So these questions and answers will be from the videos that I have already discussed. Okay, so you have to watch the videos more carefully, and I will be also taking some surprise tests. Okay, so this is all about the question and answer, and with this chapter 5 is completed. So now we will be trying to go to the next chapter, that is physical and chemical changes. Okay, so this is an important chapter.